Alright. Good afternoon, class. I hope you have begun the bell work. If you haven't, can you please start on that? Yeah, I can do that. Thanks. Would this group mind spreading out just a little bit? So maybe go to the next round. Good, thank you.
Let's go back here, back where I was at.
Okay, so who's excited for the spring trip? Yeah? So does anyone know where we're going yet? No. Okay, well I heard that we're heading to Maine. Won't that be cool? So who's ever been to Maine? No one has. Really? So do you have any expectations of what you might see there?
I want to see a moose.
A moose, okay. Anything
Snow.
else? Snow.
I want to see the harbor.
The harbor. I think that'd be really neat.
Crabs.
Crabs. So maybe you could eat some?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? What about a lighthouse? I think they're gonna be really cool. Is there any? No, you don't think so? What do you think of? Do you just think of moose when you think of Maine?
Mostly, but I'm afraid of heights, that's why I don't like lighthouses.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll be on the inside.
No. We'll see.
Okay, so basically what I was doing is yesterday I was reviewing our schedule and I came across the fact that on Saturday afternoon we don't have anything planned. So I thought we can take some time in this class to come up with some ideas of what we can do. So this is what I was thinking. I've already broken you into groups. And we have from noon to about 6 of time that's empty that we can come up with something that would be really neat to do. So the first group, so let's make this group here our group 1. And you guys will have from 12 to 3. And our second group will have from approximately 3 to 6. And we'll adjust time depending on what you guys decide to do and travel and around meals and things like that. But I thought you guys could come up with some ideas and activities that we could do during your block of time as a group. So what do you need from me that I could provide to help your process go easier?
How much money do we have?
How much money? That's a good question. We have a budget from our POA, and then for what the committee kind of allotted for you for Saturday would be about $900. So figure maybe about $450 between the two groups, but we can kind of find money other places if we need to, depending on what you come up with. So I'll write that here.
How many people are going?
That's a good question. So we're gonna rent a bus, so the bus will hold 42 people.
Are we taking all 42 on our trip?
I hope so. We want to have a full bus, and that'll keep the cost down for everyone.
Okay.
So that will include the chaperones too. But you need to include the chaperones in whatever you kind of come up with a plan. And you can use all the resources in the classroom, and of course the iPads and laptops. So anything else that you think we need to know?
What there is to do in Maine?
What there is to do in Maine? Okay, well maybe that's something that you can kind of research on your own. Do you think? Because I think we kind of came up with some ideas of what Maine was a little bit ago.
What days can we miss in school?
What days?
Like how many days? Like how long do we want this trip to be?
Well, you're only going to plan for Saturday. But remember in our packet that we handed out at the beginning of the year, the dates for the trip were Thursday through Sunday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Anything else?
Where are we going in Maine?
That's a good question. So on Saturday, we're going to be around the Portland area. Does anyone know where that is?
In Maine. North.
In Maine? North? Well, it is north of us. So it's kind of in the southern end. It's near the water. So on this side of Maine is Canada, and it'll be down here. So it's close to the bay and things like that.
Do they have moose?
I don't know if they have one, but you could find out in that area. I think a lot of the moose are in northern Maine, but maybe we can find something. Maybe your group could find a zoo or a wildlife center to go to.
Walk in front of us.
Anything else that you think we need to know?
Will students that are, or might need special help doing certain activities?
We will have one student that is in a wheelchair that'll need, so we
we'll
would need to
make
be
sure it's
accommodating wheelchair access, right?
What kind of place are we staying at? Or like a hotel, campground? Is that something you want us to think about, or is that something that you already know?
We'll be in hotels the
Okay.
whole week. But so do you guys think that it might be important to know what else we're doing that week?
Yes,
Okay.
I can do it twice.
Right. So we're gonna be spending a couple hours driving because it's about 8 hours to get there. So that's gonna take a lot of our time on Thursday and on Sunday. On Friday, we're gonna go to do a campus tour, which will be at the University of Maine. And we will also, throughout over those stretch of days, we will be visiting a maple syrup farm. So we can see how the maple syrup's made. So do you guys have any more questions?
Should we stay within a certain radius of our hotel when figuring this out?
That's an excellent question. We would like you to be within your activity to be approximately within 45 minutes.
Can they ask about food yet? Do we need to make sure we get breakfast, lunch, and dinner figured out?
Okay, that's a good question. I think that's obviously very dependent on what you decide to do. So depending on what area you are, we can either plan meals out ahead of time or come up with some sort of either a sack lunch depending on what we're doing, or if you go to a really neat place, maybe we can incorporate the meal into what we're doing. So maybe for dinner or something like that.
Is the $900 between both of our groups, so we each have like 450?
Approximately, but if you need more money, we can figure something out. We can kind of take a look at that. And so just to clarify, the first group is going to be looking at a time slot from noon to 3, and this second group will be from 3 to 6. But this is going to change a little bit depending on how far away the two groups determine to come up with an activity. Does that make sense? Alright, so are there any more questions? Do you feel like you can get started on this? Alright, awesome. So if you guys want to go ahead and break into your groups and get out whatever resources that you need, and then we'll check back in about 10 minutes. Sound okay?
Yep.
Alright, go ahead.